Welcome to another episode of BullionMax, the podcast. I'm Mark Allen, along with Sean Reynolds, the customer service manager for BullionMax. Sean, nice to see you, as always.
Yep, good to be here, Mark.
So we're going to talk about supply and demand. I mean, if
Mhm.
you go into a supermarket now, there are aisles that are vacant. Um,
Mhm.
I was at a market and a drugstore looking for some product, some supplements or vitamins,
Mhm.
and the shelf was bare,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um, does this have any, is there a tangent here within the precious metals market?
I think the you can draw a similarity to it in that the demand for precious metals right now is really high. And the reason is very clear to me because I'm in the business. We buy and we sell. And so I've been at this for a number of years now, and there isn't nearly the selling back to the company now that there used to be. It's like we're all buying because we're all hedging, we're all protecting our families in the same way.
Mm.
And so what happens is the supply becomes much shorter. And you'll see some out of stock items, not just at BullionMax, but everywhere. And it's kind of a fact of what we're dealing with right now. There are probably more people purchasing precious metals right now than ever, and fewer people selling them than ever. Well, part of the supply comes from when you sell. So if people aren't selling, that puts a lot of reliance on what comes directly from the mints, which is a limited amount. They're not
Mhm.
just there to crank them out 24/7 and anticipate the demand for the rest of the world. That's really not how they operate. So as people see the market go up and down and they go, well, I don't know if it's bottomed out yet. I don't know if now is a good time to buy or not. I think the fact that we still have pretty reasonable premiums on what is available now, while the market is still it's hanging as we record. It's about $20 for silver. We're just getting up to $1,800 for gold again. We've been down $2 on silver and down almost $90 on gold for the past couple of weeks. Okay, I don't see a reason for us to go back down again. I don't know
Mhm.
what would make the market do that. It's volatile, it may still do it, but given a lot of the projections on what we expect the markets to do, which we can base on history, we can take a look at 2020, and we can take a look at 2008, and we can take a look at 2000. Everything crashes when there's a crash, not just the market. Metals go too, and they did. We did this time as well. But now that it seems like that dust is settling just a little bit, markets are starting to creep up a little bit. Okay, well, this may be the indication in case I'm waiting for a sign. Mark, I'm waiting for a sign. This may be that sign. But I also see comments on Facebook pages, on not only ours but on other ones as well. People thinking that they ought to be able to purchase ounces of silver at $3 over spot, like all the time, all day long. Okay, I don't know if there's anything we are personally buying at $3 over spot to make it available. So if
Let's
y'all
let
know where the $3 over spot stuff is, let us know so we can get in on some of that action ourselves.
let's do some definitions here.
Sure,
Okay, spot price is what it's trading for, right?
that's the
It's
market
what
rate.
the
Yes,
what it's
spot
selling for.
equals market
So
rate.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So silver you said is around $20.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The overspot, the premium on that
Mm-hmm.
is so that somebody selling the that piece of silver makes some money. Is that how
Yeah,
it works?
so you can look at it a couple ways. The premium is going to have built into it kind of what it cost us to acquire it and then what little bit of profit we're trying to make on it. So it could be expenses and a commission if you want to look at it that way. But that's really it. So you get market rate for the weight of whatever metal it is you're talking about, plus the premium equals your purchase price.
Got it. Got it. And everybody charges a premium.
Yes. Now, unless you find someone who's doing an at spot promotion, but you have to understand that's a promotion. That's not an everyday thing. I mean, we had an at spot promotion when the market went down. So where we're already not making money, I think we lost our Heineken on the market situation as well. So those folks made out really well. We still committed to fulfilling those orders, and we didn't cancel that promotion. But we as dealers are not normally looking at market movement as how we make our money, because we're purchasing metals, months in advance, depending upon what availability looks like. And so it really is the premium where we try to make our money as a precious metals dealer, so to speak. But that's where everybody is. So if you want to know the difference between what one company charges and another company charges, don't look at the spot price. Don't even look at the full price. Look at the premium. Because at a glance, and we make this information very, very obvious on our site. If you pull up an item at BullionMax.com and you click on the item itself, if we have tiered pricing, you're going to see what the premium is at each of those levels. If that's one of those situations where the more you buy, the more you save.
And that's the tiers that you're talking about.
Exactly. Or if it just says 1+, if you buy one, you buy 100, they're all the same price, but here's the premium. So we try to make that as easy for folks to see, because we deal with a lot of new folks on our site. A lot of people are new to purchasing precious metals. And that is core information. We don't want to hide that from anybody. We don't want to make people work hard to determine, okay, so spots this, I'm going to do the math. I just cracked the code. I know what your premium is.
Right.
Oh, look, I just showed you right there what it was. Yeah.
But you're not hiding those premiums. You're right out in front. All.
Yes, because we don't claim to have the lowest prices on of everything that's available. We are going to be among the low price leaders, so we're always going to be competitive. But what we don't know is, did someone have a major buy that was unique? Say for example, years ago when I worked for another company, I bought $1 million worth of Krugerrand.
Oh my!
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
A church of all places. I can't say what the church was, but it was from a state not far from here. They brought them in. It was, as I recall, it was 877 coins, and we bought them at $25 under the market rate. Okay, so then we just blew those out at the market rate, and we made $25 on each and every one of those coins. Okay, that's not common. Right. To be able to just sell something for the market rate because you got such a good deal on it, buying it. But this was also when a lot of people were selling too. That would be a rare opportunity to buy for $2,500, and you'd probably be able to sell above the market rate because the supply is so tight. The world doesn't need to know you got 877 of those sitting in the vault, right? So it's one of those things where if you're outside of the industry, you probably have your own impressions about what's a fair premium and what's, well, let's call it price gouging. Okay, a lot of people look at Silver Eagles right now. The premiums on those are higher than I have ever seen in my career.
Wow.
And we're competitively pricing them at $15 to $16 over spot. Okay, all day long years ago, if you were going to buy 100, your price over spot, your premium would be $359. Okay, there are so many people sitting on the sidelines right now, missing this opportunity to buy because they're still thinking about premiums the way they were 10 years ago. We're in a different place right now.
Well, as we have discussed on the podcast, everything is different. This is a unique market. Mm-hmm. I mean, the volatility of the stock market itself is all over the place. Mm-hmm. The economy we're not even sure where that is.
Right.
right? The
Or how to
job,
measure it.
yeah, we've got,
What inflation based on what now? Whose
yeah,
chart? Whose swag is it? Yeah, and then you, as we have new people entering this game, they may have all kinds of plans to buy particular things that got it all figured out, and then come the time to place the next order, some of those things may not be in inventory, and now they need to kind of reshop. But at least if they've been educated on why they liked what they came to buy, but were sold out of at the moment, they should be able to find something that's very similar to it. But this is also why, Mark, we don't have a program where you can automatically purchase a certain amount of stuff every month. We just can't guarantee availability.
well, you can't guarantee the price because it's fluctuating so much,
Exactly. We're
right?
seeing more volatility in the metals market, just even in the past 8 weeks. We had silver at $26. It went down to $18. Now it's back over 20. I remember when you were lucky if you got 15 cents of movement in a month for silver.
Right.
So as you were saying, Mark, these are different times. What I think is great is going from 26 down to 18, now 20. If people are looking for a sign that says this is a time to buy precious metals, okay, maybe I missed the bottom of this recent market movement, but still 20 compared to 26, you know, and it's just going to keep going up because we're in that situation where we're coming off of a market crash, and metals come out smelling like a rose. They have performed extremely well. So if they do in the future what they've been able to do in the past, I think people are going to be very well rewarded for paying attention, for placing some orders, buying affordable bullion. And if people don't know how to do that, we'd be happy to get you educated and get you in a position where you can make some decisions and start setting this money aside, getting
Which,
some
of
precious
course,
metals.
is what BullionMax is all about. Oh, excuse me. Uh, taking, having individuals take charge of their buying. You may
Hmm.
guide them a little bit at BullionMax, but you don't say do this, do this. You let
No,
people make
and
their own decisions.
yeah, and what I like about our business model is we're not salespeople, we're educators. Ultimately, we want the customer to be the decider about what to purchase, and we'll just give you the terminology like we've been talking about. What is spot price, market rate? What is a premium? What does selling back look like? How long should I expect to hold on to this? You're going to ship them to me? All of those things are important things to know, so you can feel comfortable making those choices about what kind of metal to buy to begin with. But are you getting bars? Are you getting coins? Are you getting rounds? Are you getting some of all of those things? And it probably is going to be based on, you guessed it, price and availability, kind of our topic for this particular podcast.
And we are also talking about taking physical possession of the product, of the gold or silver or whatever other metal that you're interested in.
Yes, absolutely. And that is one thing I want to make clear to the folks who are watching this. When you buy from BullionMax, we ship it to you. You become the possessor, the holder. So if your desire is to keep it, no further distant than arm's length, we're who you're looking for. We do need to ship to the billing address if you're using a credit card or whatever your PayPal address is. Well, of course, there's some things we need to follow for our insurance company since,
Yes.
unfortunately, credit card fraud and precious metals go together like PB&J. So another thing I'd like you to know is if you're a first-time purchaser and your credit card declines in checkout, it doesn't mean that you have insufficient funds. It may be your bank going, whoa, 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 whoa. You have never purchased precious metals from anyone in your entire life.
Ah,
I just want to hear from you that this is you intending to make this purchase. And then when you do contact them, they'll say, okay, place that order again. We'll let it go through.
got it.
It's not a
That's a very
BullionMax
interesting
issue.
thing.
It's your bank protecting you.
Got
And
it.
trust me, it's a good thing. Because like I said, there is a great deal of fraud volume that does happen, unfortunately. And, you know, when that happens, you have the few bad apples that spoil the whole bunch and all the fun goes away.
Right.
But it is something that can be rectified pretty quickly. You may even get text alerts on your phone. So if you're doing this overnight, you may not have to wait for the bank to open again the following day to try again. So just have a little patience if that happens. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It is an inconvenience. I do recognize that. But again, for your own protection.
We are spending time with the BullionMax customer service manager, Sean Reynolds. And we're talking about specifically new people who are interested in first time and maybe second or third time buying of precious metals. Obviously, if you understand and you want precious metals in your portfolio, BullionMax can help you there as well. But if you're just starting out, BullionMax is a great way because of all the education. One of the things that I guess is true, Sean, is that this is a first come, first serve right now, because you've already said during our show that more people are buying precious metals now than at any other time.
Right. And we're all protecting against the same thing. We're hedging against inflation, the value of the dollar. We're trying to turn our paper dollars into these commodity dollars. So, you know, once you're invested in gold, your investment is the value of what gold trades for today, not what your paper dollars were. So if you think of that old Janet Jackson song, "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" It's kind of what you're talking about. And this is why it's also important for people to hold their investments long enough. I have spoken to so many people who have been frustrated through the years because they didn't make money on gold, they didn't make money on silver, and each and every one of them just didn't hold on to it long enough. They expected to flip it like a house. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about your financial future, just as if it's off in the distance, like your retirement. Just like your IRA is off in the distance for your retirement. You should be looking at things similarly here. If it turns out, you know, paper money fails and all of a sudden we're bartering with metal, well, at least you've got some. Okay, the world changed again, but you've got something that you can change with it. And you can adapt instead of, shoot, should have bought some of that silver when I was thinking about it. You know?
It's interesting because I wrote down flipping gold as you were saying, flipping houses. Do people still do that? Can you make money doing that, or is that
it's a rather large investment for a small reward. So when I got in the business years ago, premium on a gold bar would be about $25 over the market rate. Okay, so if the market moved $100 beyond your $25, you finally made $100. Okay, but how many of those 1 ounce gold bars do you need to actually make money?
Yeah.
And so we'd have guys sending us like 20 gold bars back in that they had purchased maybe 2 years prior to that. All that to make $2,000. Man, that's some hard money. That's really not the intention. Now, if they were happy with being able to do that and it got them some extra cash and what the heck, you know, I'm just playing around anyway.
Sure.
Great. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about right now if silver's $20 and it somehow makes it to 100, that's 5 times your initial investment. What else could you do that with that you know of right now? Now, I am not predicting or saying that is going to happen. But if it does happen, Silver's the play. Can you imagine what would need to happen in the world if gold quadrupled itself,
Oh,
quintupled itself? Chicken Little's running around somewhere for sure.
yeah,
If that
exactly.
happened, sky is falling. The sky is falling. So I think I happen to like the silver play for a lot of new investors simply because the silver is much more affordable. You have greater opportunity to multiply that initial investment,
Hmm.
and you can just keep going. You based on the first things you learn about investing in silver, that's going to continue on down the line. If supply improves in the future, premiums will go down, and that will continue to make metals affordable even if the market goes up. So, since both of those things, the spot price and the premium, factor into your purchase price, you should always be paying attention. You never give up because premiums are too high. Yeah, but the market was just 18 bucks. Okay, you can accept a higher premium if the market's at 18. You can do that because maybe your target was $24 an ounce. You'd have made it.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Stay plugged in. Keep watching this stuff.
I guess what you're
Otherwise, it's
saying,
just going to get past you.
I guess what you're saying is a lot of people, especially newbies, if you will, don't understand the premium.
Well, I think there's that, Mark, but I think there are also people who traded more 10 years ago, and the
Okay.
premiums are lower, and they have this romantic notion that a good deal is 250 over spot. It is. That's a hellacious deal. That's probably not even out there, even at a wholesale situation. So if those guys are not buying because they're not seeing anything that's 250 over spot or $3 over spot, they're sitting on the bench. And they're making a huge mistake based on old knowledge that's no longer relevant. It's not anybody's fault, and I'm certainly not calling anybody stupid. My point is, if you're stuck there, though, the world changed on you a little bit, and you may need to readjust. Otherwise, you've probably purchased the last ounce of silver that you're ever going to buy. And are
Let's
you
talk
sure
about
that's where you want to be?
purchasing. Yeah, let's talk about some of the availability. You telling me earlier, I think some silver kangaroos.
Silver kangaroos, yes. Now, this is a great product for people who are looking for what I call good solid ounces. It's a coin, first and foremost, so it's a pure silver 1 troy ounce coin that's minted by the Perth Mint in Australia. So it's actual currency, but God help us if it's only worth $1. Okay, really,
Got
the
it.
world recognizes it as Janet Jackson's "What Have You Done for Me Lately" ounce of silver. Okay,
Got it.
so low premiums on those right now. We've been one of the low price leaders on that to begin with. I was assisting somebody yesterday, 529 over spot, any quantity. Okay,
Any quantity?
any quantity. So you don't have to buy 250 of them to get that price per, to get that premium. Just buy enough to get a $200 order so we ship for free. That would be an excellent choice to get that done. And that's something that, as long as that is running for that price, whenever you're ready to order, as long as we still have them available, Mark,
Got it.
you could place that order again and again, and you wouldn't have to worry about, I need to save up to be able to buy 20 so I get that first price break, or save up to buy 25 so I get that first price break. We often have different things on sale at different times of the week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to come right out and say flash sale day. Come and see us on Tuesdays and Thursdays to see what's going on. That's often a situation where we'll break down the tier pricing, but then come up with a discounted rate, and that would be for as many or as few as you like, or perhaps even as many as we have. It depends on what it is, right? But that's what makes it interesting for people to visit us frequently. We're a young company, but we keep adding new products all the time, and so that's exciting. And then the things that we have, we're rotating specials in and out, and that's exciting. And then we're also working with some social media influencers in the metal space, and they're bringing new people to BullionMax. So it's really exciting watching all of this activity and meeting all these new people and helping them, whether this is a hobby or whether this is as serious as a heart attack investment for them, help them achieve their goals with whatever it is they want to do with metals.
So the supply right now is it okay? Is it tight? Is it getting tighter?
Ooh.
Or does it depend on if it's a coin from a mint or a round, a bar?
It does depend on that. And the reason I say that is we recently got Austrian Philharmonics in, and we had been waiting for them since February to get them directly from the mint. So that's almost a half a year. That's pretty crazy. Same is true of Silver Krugerrand right now. I know we sold our last one in April, and we're still waiting for our next one. So that, I would say, that's more than 3 months out. That's tight. But this is where we feel fortunate that occasionally the Royal Mint from the UK will help us out and bless us with a bunch of Britannias, or we'll be able to get a bunch of kangaroos from the Perth Mint, or maybe there's some other special coins that we're able to get from the Perth that are maybe not quite so much about that initial investment, but have a little bit of collectability to them. So, like the Great Barrier Reef 2-ounce coin that we have, we just had that on special. Gorgeous, gorgeous coin, 2 ounces of silver, really nice piece, would make a great gift. But that's kind of how we keep it interesting. I know we've got a Bart Simpson coin right now and a Homer Simpson coin.
No way.
They're just a little bit more than, they're really well done, really well done. But they come on a color card and everything. It's a really cool package. But they cost just a little bit more than standard bullion. This is where, when I talk with people and they have their goals and they make their regular purchases and things of that nature, and then they see these other things are just a couple bucks more and I can get one of these and I like that, go ahead and do that. Have some fun. Play with the variety. Think of the gifts that these can make. And so if you have a friend or family member who likes The Simpsons, okay, there's something right there. It's approximately $33. Okay, that's a respectable amount to spend on a birthday gift, I think. And there you go, something unique that maybe this person who likes Homer Simpson or Bart or The Simpsons would not get for him or herself. Kind of fun.
Do the coins vary in price? In other words, a 1-ounce silver Krugerrand, does that the price is that price different than a 1-ounce kangaroo?
That's an excellent question, Mark, and this is some of the educating that we like to provide. So you have coins that are priced very similarly to rounds. And so that would be the kind of the lower end of the spectrum. And there are a few excellent coins that kind of sit in that space. So that would be the kangaroo, the Krugerrand, the Britannia, things of that nature, the Philharmonic that I just mentioned. But then you go a few more dollars up, and then you'll get to the Canadian Maple Leaf, which is a great one. But certainly a price difference between it and those coins with the lower premium prices. Then, excuse me, dare I say, the gold standard of silver bullion, the American Eagle. Those run $15 to $16 over spot currently. Now, that's as high as I have ever seen them. When we talk with new people who say, hey, I want to buy some Eagles, I'll show them that. But I'll also show them some of the other coins to just say, now look, there's a difference of about $10 in premium for each of these. Okay, what is more important to you? Do you want Eagles, or would you rather be able to buy more ounces of silver because you didn't buy Eagles? What do you think? And I'm always going to say, what do you think? I'm not going to say, look, the better value is to not buy Eagles. You're never going to hear me say that because it's not about me. That's about what you like and what you want to do. So if you like the Eagles, I'm still going to make sure you know about the price difference and that you could have selected something else. If you still buy the Eagles, then that's what you ought to buy because that's what you think you ought to have. I love that approach. I really do.
It's a consumer friendly approach, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the bottom line at Max.
Yes, absolutely. We are truly based in service, and we think the best thing we can do is make sure you buy what's right for you to minimize any potential issues on the back end. You know, when you're making the decision about what to buy, then you know why you bought it and you're comfortable with it. So when it arrives, you check it over, meets your expectations, you're happy. That's all we want, you know? Because I think if we can do that time and time again from customer to customer to customer, I think we're going to be pretty big in this business.
And
Not all of the companies in this space care that much or will take that much time with their customers to get them comfortable with the purchasing process.
right. Well, it's the education that we've talked about all the time on the podcast. The fact that BullionMax, your staff, educates people to make them smarter, more intelligent buyers of precious metals.
Absolutely. And I think the more we can get them educated, the more they're going to enjoy the experience. And I think the more you enjoy the experience, while it is something that is important and certainly has a good bit of urgency in many households, I think the more you can enjoy the process, the better off you're going to be. And I think it starts with the educational piece.
Sean, we're out of time. I really appreciate our conversation. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Anytime.
And thank you for watching. And if you want information, we have our information for BullionMax up throughout our conversation. Make it real easy for you to learn about investing and buying bullion from BullionMax. Again, Sean, thank you. And thank you for watching. We'll see you on our next episode. Bye-bye for now. Don't miss an episode of BullionMax. Subscribe to us right now.